everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Live. My name is Taylor. I make videos about health, wellness, traveling, and leveling up in your life, and coming to you from the kitchen, the spices, the oven mitt that is always there in all the videos, saying hello. And I'm really excited. This week has been really awesome. I need to unplug my Google because it just started replaying. Unplug my Google. Oh no, the live is playing to my Google Home. Just give me a minute. That is hilarious. Give this video a like if you like it so far. That's what happens when you go live, I guess. And how is everyone? I hope everyone's had a great week so far. I had an amazing week last week. Hello. Hello, everyone. I had an amazing week last week. I went on a van trip to the Blue Mountains, and I was editing some of that vlog today, and that will be going up later this week. It's also been broken into 2 parts, so it's actually going to be 2 vlogs. And I'm also really excited because I'm going to be filming a walkthrough of that van as well. So lots of traveling videos coming up. I had some more chill time the past couple of days when I got home. And today I decided to show you what I typically buy in a weekly grocery kind of situation. But before I go through the grocery haul, I wanted to make some vegan cookies. So this is from The Vegan Cookie. I'm going to be linking their website and Instagram in the description box. But I saw these guys at the Kiama markets and the Shahaba Planted Vegan Market as well. And I will be linking them at the end of this video in a little card, so you can check those videos out afterwards. But this is the cookie dough. So I'm really excited. This is going to be quite easy to make. I've already got some potatoes for my tea cooking in the oven, so it's already preheated. And this is in the flavor triple chocolate as well. So it's probably not whole food. It's not whole food. I recommend you eat a whole food plant-based diet, but I also like having these sweet treats every now and again. So to prepare this, I need to put it at 180. Okay, so I need to get a tray with some baking paper. I've already got my tray. Hello. I've already got my tray, and now I'm going to get just like my eco baking paper. Yes, treat yourself occasionally. What else do I need to do? So I need to portion into 5 even cookies. Okay. And then you can bake for 10 to 12 minutes for a chewy cookie, or leave them in longer for a crunchy cookie. Okay. All right, I didn't open it properly. All right, I'm just gonna rinse my hands. So it looks like it's gonna be it's 5 cookies. These are gonna be big cookies. I might just make them into little ones. Low-key want to try them as they are. Okay, so I'm going to try and make it into a cookie. And I'm going to show you what they look like when I've made them all. That looks so rich. Okay, so that is quite easy to use and to make, really. So, cookie number 2. Once I put these in the oven as well, I am going to go through just some basic groceries that I buy throughout the week. And a lot of this stuff I use for the recipes I make in my vlogs, and just generally what I typically eat. At the moment, I'm eating a bit of a rotation of a few different meals. And tonight, changing it up, we're actually trying black bean burgers, which will be interesting. They're on sale. So I've got some chips cooking in the oven. Is that going there? I'm going to try it. It was really rich. I guess before we get to the food stuff, I'm just going to generally talk about things I've come across in the week that I've found interesting. And I'm also going to talk about some vegan news once my hands are clean and I can look at my screen properly. But the first thing that really comes to mind that I found to be really, really exciting is NFTs and crypto art. I don't know if anyone wants to let me know in the comments if they've already heard about crypto art, crypto in general, and NFTs. I am just starting my learning journey about it, but I thought it was pretty revolutionary. So I wanted to bring it up to you guys so you have the opportunity to go learn about it yourself. So I have heard about NFTs from people around me, like friends and family. And NFTs are non-fungible tokens, I believe. And basically what they are is NFTs are built on blockchains, I believe. And it's like you have this digital art piece or proof of ownership of a certain thing. And because it's on the blockchain, it is proved to be true and the authentic OG thing, right? So for example, if you had, say, like a car that was a collectible and you wanted to buy it, you would need proof of ownership in order to pass it on between owners so that they know the car's not stolen. So this NFTs, in essence, is the blockchain digital version of that. And it's already being used for things like moments, like actual media, like products, like say someone dunking a basketball, like a really famous basketball player, or CryptoKitties, kind of like a crypto Neopet situation where people pay crypto, Ethereum in CryptoKitty example, for this, I'm just like talking with my hands with the cookies on it. Yeah, so people buy it for the collectible aspect of it, like baseball cards or Pokemon cards, except it's on the blockchain, right? Now, I still don't quite understand the actual technological, like the code and the stuff for it. But I mean, you can use the internet and not understand how it works, but you still use it, right? And what I found really exciting about this non-fungible tokens is that in the case of art and media, it's returning the royalty power back to the original creator. So when, for example, if you take DVDs, right, you can buy it from when they were like a thing, when DVDs were a thing, you could buy it from a DVD store and you knew it was like the royalties were being paid properly because it was like an institution. But once that DVD is pirated, you can still watch the original media, but it's hard to like differentiate between the original thing and the pirated copy. So what NFTs are doing is it's like a minted art piece. So I think it's OpenSea is one of them. I've literally only just started learning about them, so I'm not an expert. I just think this is amazing because I studied film at uni, and in that in my degree, it's very big. It was very big on art history and theories about the loss of the aura of an art piece. So when you have, say, a Pollock work, it's like that has this aura about it that it's the proper thing. But then when you reproduce it, it loses it. So what NFTs are doing is basically decentralizing, but also centralizing the royalties going back to the original creators. So artists in the future aren't going to get ripped off in the media production process, which is amazing to me and is really, really cool. I was having a look at like crypto art, and people make memes and then they like mint them and people buy them, and it's like a new collectible thing. I'm so into talking about this that my cookies are just a terrible shape. Oh well, it's okay. I'm gonna make a little one because I'm gonna try one before I have dinner. Okay, so the aesthetics of this are a little bit off, but that's what they look like. I'm gonna wash my hands now. Yeah, so non-fungible tokens while I make cookies. It's very early days still. It's so early days, but I really recommend, if you're interested in going and listening to Gary Vee's recent podcast about it, he's a pretty reputable source in terms of these things. I might need more space in between the cookies. Okay, thank you. I will put more space in between them. Wise words. But yeah, I really love listening to Gary Vee's podcast because I remember listening to him a few years ago, and he said TikTok was going to be the next like big, platform. And I thought it was funny. And I was like, haha, like that's ever going to be a big thing. And here I am, nearly 24 on TikTok every day. So, he's got some merit. Does that look a bit better? I think that looks a bit better. I'll just cut them apart if they're together. So I need to put them on for 10 minutes. I just had to unplug my Google Home, so I'll have to put an alarm on my phone because otherwise I'll get carried away talking about cryptocurrencies and crypto art. So I'll leave that to the side. Yeah, so NFTs are a super, super interesting thing. I will definitely share more on my channel. Hello, hi Miss, I'm great. How are you doing? I hope everyone's well wherever they are in the world. Also too, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet already, I will be posting 2 to 3 videos generally a week, including the lives, and super excited to get some more vlogs up soon with traveling. So NFTs, definitely have a look into them. I will probably link Gary Vee's podcast in the description after this has been posted up. And now I've got the cookies in the oven. Ooh. And I've got food stain receipts. I'm going to go through and show you what I bought today. But I need some tea first. I made some hibiscus tea. Does anyone else here like hibiscus tea? I find it's very sweet, but it doesn't need any sugar in it because it's already naturally sweet. And I'm gonna take out my teacup. Yeah, hibiscus tea is super, super good for you. I might as well look up some benefits. Benefits of hibiscus tea. So hibiscus tea is packed with antioxidants, may help lower blood pressure, also lowers blood fat levels, boosts liver health, could promote weight loss, contains compounds that may help prevent cancer, could help fight bacteria, and flavorful and easy to make. And that's from Healthline, so it must be true. Because everything on the internet is true. So yeah, everything with a grain of salt. I'm really excited to show you what I eat all the time. I mean, most of the things on this channel are of me eating, but yeah, so went to a few different places today and running low on some things. Most of this stuff usually takes about a week to go through, and a lot of the things I eat are on rotation again. So I'm going to start with one of the most important items. Well, the most important item, date syrup from Wes. These were $6 each, but $6 each well spent. Super, super good for you. Is the closest thing you can get to a whole food sweetener. I don't actually have that much sugar anymore, any refined sugar. This is what I prefer to use because it still has a lot of nutrients such as iron and everything still in the actual syrup, because I'm pretty sure they only have to boil it to get it distilled down into a syrup texture. So I use this all the time. It's really great in hot drinks as well, even in coffee, in tea, obviously in hibiscus because it's already sweet enough. Yeah, the only thing about these is that I typically put a little Tupperware plastic lid under it because they do get a little bit sticky sometimes, and it's just easier to put something plastic underneath them. So that is what I got. I'm also going to put them away in my cupboard as I do it because I don't want to do it after the live. Okay, next up, peanut butter. So I really love the Mavis Skin On Peanut Butter, natural source of fiber, and it just has a dash of sea salt. This was, how much was it? I should have put this in the order that I bought it in. So that was $5. That seems maybe like a lot for peanut butter, but it doesn't have any refined sugar or extra like crap in it. And it is super, super good. Highly recommend. What else? Got some garlic. I don't know if anyone actually wants to know how much garlic is. I don't really want to read the receipt just for the garlic. Let's see. Maybe I bought that because I had to go to a few different places because they didn't have avocado, like ripe avocado. I know that's on this one. So that was like $1 for that. Got some onions, a kilogram of onions for $1.50. I'm pretty sure they were on sale. So I'll be using them for things like mujadara, which is this really amazing caramelized onion, over quinoa. I'm thinking of making a recipe video for that soon because I feel like I've gotten that down pat. So I'd really like to show that to you guys. And it also makes me feel like I'm back in Jordan. About this time last year, I was at Vipassana this time last year, but I did go to Jordan and I really love Middle Eastern food. So I really love cooking that. It's so nice and it's super whole food as well. What else did I get? I got some Herba Mare for the first time because it was on sale. Yes, I will make the mujadara recipe video soon. And this one was on sale, but how much it was, I don't know. It was $6.60, and I have put it on the potatoes that are in the oven Can someone remind me to check them? I'm joking. I might forget if I'm on a live talking about my groceries. But yeah, these are really great. It's herb sea salt. The sea salt in this is not iodized, I think. It's just really, really nice, and it's really, really good on chips. I'm gonna keep that out for dinner. What else? Unsalted peanuts. I use pad thai. I've cooked the pad thai a few times in my vlogs. These are just from the snack section. Is that the Herbamare? I got this from Woolies. So I'm not sure if they have it in Coles. They do have it in Woolies. I haven't bought it for a while because it hasn't been on sale, but today it was on sale and we're making burgers. So I thought, why not? And yeah, so these were $2.30, and I just put them in a mortar and pestle and crushed them to put them on top of the pad thai. So that's that one. What else? So I got $2.60 for a tube of wasabi. I really like to have DIY sushi because I can't roll a sushi roll to save my life. And this is really good if you just get a little bit of it and mix it up with some soy sauce, and it dampens the spice down a bit. This is also really good and cheap. Up next, panned roux vermicelli bean thread. So these were $1.75 each, and these are really good for rice paper rolls. Just super, super quick to easy. Super quick and easy to cook. And I'm obviously making this just before dinner. Yeah, so this only takes 2 minutes to cook if you pre-boil the water. Pop it in a pot, just a little touch of oil, and put a fork through it on the stovetop for 2 to 3 minutes, and just stir it just so the strands don't stick together, and then there you go. Just drain it and you've got it ready for rice paper rolls. What's next? I love making pad thai. These are the ones that I generally get. So that's 375 grams. There's quite a few different ones out there, but these ones are super nice. How much were these? Rice. I've also got rice here. Wait, no. Okay, I'm getting confused. Ooh, cookies are ready. I'll just check the biscuits. I'll leave them in for a couple more minutes. Yeah, so these were $2.10 each, I think. So yeah, super cheap for how much you get, and they're surprisingly filling as well. Once you cook them and add all the sauces and the peanuts and everything, it's very, very filling. And now we're going to move more into the staples. I did buy some potatoes. They're pretty much cheap wherever you are in the world. Also just oats, just good old rolled oats. These were, how much were the oats? $1.40 each. These are great. I typically just cut a corner off them, and then I use an elastic with my hair in it to wrap it up and just put it in the cupboard. Also, you can put these in the plastics return to store as well in Woolworths. So that's how you recycle these plastics. Again, you can use these for oat milk. It's just such a cheap alternative. You don't need to even make your own nut milks. Like you can make oat milk and it's super, super cheap, like $1.40 a bag. I pretty much lived on oats in uni and yeah, oats can get you through a lot. Another staple, brown rice is, how much is brown rice? This kilogram of brown rice was $2.50, this Woolworths home brand. Okay, I'll get the biscuits in a minute. Super cheap, and yeah, just lentils, you know, things that you put rice in. So the biscuits are done. I want them to be chewy. Oh, wow. I just turned the oven off and I'm still cooking my chips for dinner. How hectic did they look? Wow. Hello, Matt. Oh, cool. That's so nice of you to join the channel. Thank you so much. And hello. So those are going to cool. I don't want to burn my mouth on a live. That would be embarrassing. What else did I have to show you? Cacao powder. That is also really, really great for so many things. This was $5.50 and it's organic as well. I think it's one of the cheapest between Coles and Woolworths. But yeah, you can make cacao out of it. I put it in banana date syrup. Actually, in my story today, I made a banana ice cream bowl and put cacao in it, like 2 tablespoons, and just a bit of water in this with frozen banana. And seriously, you only need those 3 things: frozen banana, a couple of tablespoons of cacao, and water, preferably filtered. And there you have a serious, like almost like a McDonald's chocolate thick shake, and even better because it's really great to have after you've just done exercise, and it's pretty whole food and it just tastes like ice cream. So I highly recommend. It's super simple and I'll never get sick of it. Yes, I agree. Macro cacao is the best one. There's a lot of other ones in health food stores. You can get bigger ones. I think, yeah, like you can get bigger ones so you don't have to think about it. I mean, I do go through this a lot. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, and you can add spinach with it as well. Any sort of greens. Also, a new green I'm onto is sweet potato leaves. Is actually not as bitter as a lot of other greens and is full of nutrients as well. So if you have access to growing sweet potato, I highly recommend it because they're super tasty greens. Okay, we're getting closer to the end of the grocery haul. The one last thing, actually no, I lie. Well, we had to go to a different Woolies across town just to get this one item. Is an avocado. I think it's a shepherd avocado. I prefer Hass avocado. I actually prefer Hawaiian avocados because they have so many different types and we have very limited type. Thank you so much for reminding me to get the cookies. I've already gotten them. They are out. They're cooling down. The reason I still have the oven going is that I'm cooking the chips for my tea, which I'm going to make once I finish this live. But yeah, this was $2. That's not too bad in Australia for an avocado. I do miss Hawaiian avocados though. I miss Hawaii. So that's almost done. And I forgot the cool stuff because I had to put it away when I got home. So I bought half a thing of celery for $1.75, and I know the plastic is a little bit sad. I'm going to put it in the return to store for Woolworths, but I find having a whole bunch of celery that I'm going to juice is just a bit much. So I got the half one, and I think it was on sale as well. I also bought a Health Lab mint to be protein ball. That was $2, and it was so nice. It tasted like full on like Cadbury chocolate, even though I don't remember what that tastes like. It was like very, very nice, but kind of whole food. It had a bit of sugar in it, so maybe you don't have it all the time, but there you go, that's there. But I ate it already, so I can't show you. And also half a kilogram of sliced mushrooms. These are on sale for $5. And more plastic, I know, but I will put them in the return to store. And sometimes I think you could sprout stuff in this maybe. But yeah, I usually, if I really want mushrooms, I generally get the paper bag, but these were on sale. So, and sometimes I'm lazy. I try not to be, but it's just a bit easier if they're already cut sometimes. And also a bag of carrots. How much were they? $1.90 for a bag of carrots as well. Got some sprouts too. How much were they? These were $2.40 because we're making beetroot burgers. Isn't it amazing how big all of the plant-based alternatives aisles are getting in Woolworths and Coles? It's really, really great. Put the hummus in the fridge. Oh, that's actually not hummus. So this has a bit of a story. This is not actually hummus. This is mother bread, or as one of the amazing viewers of this channel calls it, is lembas bread, like the bread out of Lord of the Rings that the hobbits eat, and it sustains them all day. So this is actually a cultured oat flour, and it reeks. I've gotten used to it. I have to explain to visitors what it is. The Black Swan roasted garlic hummus is amazing. Yes, that is really good. I've had that before. All the hummus out now is like pretty good, but this is mother bread, and that's with oat flour. That's why there's a bunch of oat things in the corner, because you have to feed it and put water in it, and you have to wait for it to rise, and then you can put it out on a hot plate and make kind of like a naan bread or a flatbread, and it's like sourdough. It's super, super good. I have to explain to people when they come over that the smell is the bread. So thank you for reminding me, but it's not hummus. And the last thing of this haul is, yes, I would eat a whole bucket of hummus as well. That's why I can't buy it too often. I generally make it from scratch now. I've got this beetroot burger. It was $7 from Woolies, and the range is getting pretty good. This one doesn't actually have any sugar in it, I think. It has some gelling agents from red seaweed, some sea salt, spices, black beans, beetroot, onion, caramelized onion, pumpkin seeds, buckwheat, quinoa. Yeah. It's GMO-free, palm oil-free. And I'm really excited to try these. So give it a shot. And that's pretty much it. And then there's like a chili. They cost like nothing. Date syrup's not the only thing that I use to sweeten my food. I do eat a lot of fruit in, say, a smoothie, or if I have oatmeal, I'll put a lot of frozen berries in it. But for, say, something like cacao, yes, that's the only thing I use to sweeten my food. I did notice I used to have a lot of sugar, especially when I was doing a lot of triathlon training and I was trying to be on a budget, I used to have a lot of sugar, but then I noticed it would make my skin break out. And going through the phase of cutting down my refined sugar, it takes some adjustment because your body food might taste a little bit more bland when you first cut it, like if you decide to cut salt, but eventually your body gets used to it. And to be honest, I use a lot of date syrup anyway. I prioritize date syrup in the grocery spending budget. I've also got another question you can use. So you can also use applesauce to cook with as well for things like muffins. Even mashed banana is also really good in baking as well. But generally, I think having whole fruits in sweet meals is actually the most optimal thing you could do because you're getting the whole package. You're getting the sugars with all the phytonutrients as well. I mean, this isn't really about sweetness, but Dr. Greger on YouTube just released a really great video about how avocados can reduce your inflammation. And basically the moral of that video is to show that eating foods in their whole state is the most optimal for our body. So even date syrup, don't eat it all day because, again, it's still a slightly refined food. So yeah. Speaking of refined sugar, I don't have that much refined sugar, but I do like to have it sometimes. I'm going to try one of my cookies now. I'm just going to put it out on something so it doesn't get, so the plate doesn't burn my counter. So this looks so hectic. My fam's going to be so happy when I give them some of these cookies. Okay. Maybe I need to put them in the oven longer. They're really good. They're just a bit too chewy, so I'm going to have to put them back in the oven for a few minutes. So I just got a question then. There is a lot of sugar in tomato sauce. I don't want to connect to Apple ID. Yeah, there is a lot of sugar in tomato sauce and barbecue sauce. Yeah, it can, sauces and pickles and things and condiments can cause ulcers and a lot of acidity in your body if you eat too much of it because you're only supposed to have a tiny bit of it. Yes, you can get reduced sugar formulas. I don't actually have any tomato sauce or barbecue sauce in the house because I like to do a lot of my cooking from scratch, even though it's quite easy to make the meals that I generally like to make. And I use herbs, spices. I like to cook with whole foods and yeah, onion, garlic. You can use a lot of other types of things to flavor your foods as well. And most whole foods typically taste good anyway without anything else added to it too. So that's, I've got to leave them in the oven for a few more minutes. What else was I going to share with you guys? Oh, so the garden is going hectic. My housemate's been just growing so many things and the garden looks so great. Look at this hectic tomato. How good does that look? That is hectic. That's sick. And also these cherry tomatoes, they're from the garden as well. And all this basil as well. What? That's cool. Yeah, super, super great garden. And there's pumpkins growing on the fence too. Yeah, basil's great for pasta, also really good for pesto as well. Now, while those are cooking, I would like to share some really cool news that I've come across today from different vegan platforms that I thought were interesting. I'm also going to be sending the links into the chat, as well as I'll be linking them in the description at the end of this video. So to start with, I'll go from I'll leave the most exciting till last, the one that just makes my heart sing. But, oh, I've got basil everywhere. So Volvo, electric cars to fully replace fossil fuel engines by 2030. So Volvo is making this changeover. Also in the article, they talk about how they're trying to transition away from leather to more eco-friendly products. So it's not a vegan car, but they're trying to reduce their impact, which is great for all of us on this floating rock. Okay, I'll leave that exciting one to last. I was like looking it up. I'm like, oh, like, you know, cool. Starbucks is launching a vegan product. Great. But then some other massive things came out and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really nice. This one was interesting. So this is from The Guardian. It's just people are weird, aren't they? But this article talks about a meatless school menu sparks political row in France. So a temporary decision by Green Mayor of Lyon, I think that's how you pronounce it, to take meat off menu met by protests. And like farmers and stuff kind of like walked through the city with cows and livestock. And I'm just like, just from one decision to take meat off the menu in school canteens. And he was accused of, government ministers have accused the mayor, Gregory, I don't speak French, of ideological and elitist behavior after the measure, which is also being studied by several other cities, including Paris, came into force in Lyon school on Monday. So I think the reason that they decided to do that was because they didn't have enough time, or they're trying to reduce their emissions. And sorry, I'm going to read down to where they said why they did it. Okay, it's a long article, but I read this a couple of hours ago. I'm just missing my spot. Oh, so this was the reason they decided to change it and just keep it all like meat-free. The city council has said the decision to provide the same meatless 4-course lunch was purely practical, saying physical distancing rules necessitated more sittings in school canteens, and it could not serve 29,000 children in 2 hours if there was a choice of meat and vegetarian menus. So yeah, it got a pretty big backlash, which is, you know, I think that's a bit sad. Not a bit, it's a lot sad. And yeah, a lot of industry was not happy with that one, even though it was a step forward. Yeah, so a lot of the myths around B12 is that vegans can't get it. There's an algae. There's research coming out about this algae now that is a plant-based source of B12. And we used to, I think, get it in the soil when our soil was mineralized. But now, because our soil is so washed and pumped full with pesticides and things, and we need to wash our food, our natural source of B12 is lost, and due to our modern lifestyle. A lot of people don't actually know that a lot of animals actually get supplemented with B12 as well, because they would also get B12 in the soil. But I think that animals produce their B12 as well, and that's how you can access it. But you can get vegan supplements of B12 as well. So animal products are not the only source of B12. as well. And don't forget to all the other things you get from animal products. You are at more risk of getting heart disease if you eat things like red meat. The World Health Organization have classed processed meats as a class 1 carcinogen and red meat as a class 2, I think. Yeah, so a lot of non-vegans lack B12 as well, just as like a lot of non-vegans also lack iron, which is like another vitamin nutrient that vegans kind of get stereotyped as being lacking in. So there's also a comment, I don't think you can recycle lithium. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how car batteries get recycled. I just thought the Volvo thing was worth noting because I think any move towards the current system we're in is much better. Yeah, so if you don't get B12 in your diet, the kids will be really sick. Yeah, that's true, but there's, you can get B12 from other sources. You can get it from plant sources. I recommend you get a B12 supplement, and I'm pretty sure a lot of doctors would recommend even meat eaters do that as well. And I wouldn't recommend eating animal products because of your chances of getting high cholesterol, heart disease, and all the other things, and also the ethical component of all the stress hormones that get pumped through that animal's body when they get shot in the head. So I don't recommend that. But definitely supplement B12. You can get that from plant sources. I hope that answers the B12 questions. And moving to the Tesco news. So this is from Plant-Based News in the UK. Tesco to offer plant-based alternative for every animal product sold, says a leaked letter. I haven't been to Tesco that much, but I thought it was cool. There actually is B12 from plants. Let me find this link for you. There was a video that Mike the Vegan did about this. Let me see if I can find this for you. So I'm going to send you a link. Oh yeah, savory yeast flakes too is another great source of B12. Also, this is pretty recent, Mike the Vegan, it's official, there's a plant source of B12. This really amazing superfood. I'm not going to listen. I watched it a while ago. I can't remember the name, but it's like an algae that grows on top of like ponds and stuff. And I'll also link for you another list of B12 sources from plants. Because I love savory yeast flakes and it tastes like cheese. So it's really great for things like pizzas and everything. So I'm just getting an article from Nourish magazine. So you can get it from algae and seaweed, fortified breakfast cereals, mushrooms and tempeh, as well as fortified plant milk. But this video that I've linked in the chat is really a game changer because there is the myth that there's no plant sources of B12 when there definitely is. And the algae in that video that I did send, that algae is already a part of a lot of Asian cuisines, which is really, really cool. So there's definitely always cruelty-free options for to get what we need to sustain ourselves, which is really nice. So I hope that answers your question. And to the next one. I found this really cool. So this is also from Plant-Based News. So a world's first, hospital serves patients exclusively vegan menu after ditching animal products. So a hospital says that it is the first in the world to detox completely and serve its patients 100% vegan. Hayek Hospital is a family-owned private practice located in Beirut, Lebanon. On March 1st, it altered its menu to exclusively feature plant-based foods. So they broke the news on Instagram, and the picture that they posted said, "Our patients will no longer wake up from surgery to be greeted with ham, cheese, milk, and eggs, the very foods that may have contributed to their health problems in the first place." And they captioned the post as "an elephant in the room no one wants to see." And then, like I just talked about previously, they reiterated that the World Health Organization classifies processed meat as a group 1A carcinogen, the same group as tobacco, and red meat as a group 2A carcinogen. So serving meat in hospital is like serving cigarettes in hospital. And also the CDC declared, I'm not quite sure what the CDC is, to be honest, declared that 3 out of 4 new emerging infectious diseases, that 3 out of 4 new or emerging infectious diseases come from animals. So to be honest, when I used to edit with Dr. Leo Venus, he did a video on pandemics and where they come from. And to edit that video, I read a lot of the research that was required to like the peer-reviewed stuff. And yeah, so I can say that I've read the literature around it as well. And a lot of biologists would agree that a lot of emerging infectious diseases come from animals. So they decided to do this because they said adopting a plant-based diet has been scientifically proven not only to stop the evolution of certain diseases, but it can also reverse them. Yeah. Yeah, and last year, a survey showed a staggering 83% of patients favor hospitals banning processed meats to reduce cancer risk. And it also found that 69% of patients feel it's not important that hospitals offer bacon or sausage. So that is really... Oh, someone just reminded me about my potatoes about in the oven. Thank you. So those are the chips I made for dinner. I look like a Walmart. I'm not quite sure. Is that because we don't have the doors on the shelves? If so, I hope it's a healthy Walmart. Another exciting bit of news is that China is ending mandatory animal testing on general imported cosmetics, which is really cool. I've talked about this in some of my previous videos when I talked about cosmetics, and yeah, so that's nice to know that things are changing. And in the article, Peter talks about how this is a massive, massive progression in that industry. Yeah, so that's kind of the news that I wanted to share today that I thought was super, super interesting. Those cookies are still cooling down, but okay, I've got to try. These chips are actually not too bad. They're still really hot though. So I'm going to try this cookie now, actually. It's still really hot. So I think usually what you would do is wait for them to cool down to set, because they still are a little bit gooey. So I'm still waiting for it to cool down. But as we're coming to the end of this live, please like this video if you have enjoyed it so far. Thank you to everyone who has been watching and tuning in and commenting. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you found it beneficial, maybe giving you some ideas of what you can get if you're in Australia and you like shopping at Woolies. And let's give this vegan cookie a taste test. That is amazing. Really? Thank you to the vegan cookie. You can find them on Instagram at the vegan cookie Oz, so AUS on Instagram. Super amazing. You can find them at markets on the South Coast. And man, this is a good cookie. I was actually thinking of making oat milk on this live, and then I thought, you know, liquids, laptops, and blenders probably don't work well on a broadcast. So the only thing this is missing is like a glass of oat milk or a plant-based milk alternative. So yeah, I think that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Also, stay tuned. This week I will be releasing a van life Blue Mountains vlog in 2 parts, and also soon there will be a walkthrough of the van as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next Sunday live at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and peace out and go vegan. Yeah.